Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. In today's McDojo news, we're going to talk about how a yellow belt Taekwondo student was put in the hospital after a sparring session. Let's check out the story. Jamie Kondo, a 17-year-old Taekwondo student, was hospitalized due to severe facial injuries and broken nose after her coach allegedly set her up to spar with a larger male black belt. The victim, a yellow belt in Taekwondo, was apparently placed in a sparring session against a heavier, taller opponent at a school in Bulacan back in February. The female victim received several punches and kicks from her male opponent, knocking her down several times, as shown in the video that's since gone viral, which resulted in her sustaining bruises and a swollen face and broken nose after the sparring session. The video of the sparring incident was apparently already in round 2. Kondo said there was another female Taekwondo athlete who sparred with a male student before she stepped on the mat. She said, however, there were differences in how the coach, identified as Jerry Salvador Jr., handled their practice. I almost died because of the beating. I was beaten up without a fighting chance. I couldn't fight back. I couldn't do anything to protect myself because I was partnered with a man who was heavier than me by 20 kilos and is also a black belt, she stated. The victim's family alleged that the coach intentionally set up the unfair sparring match out of jealousy, claiming he threatened to have her face several guys if she did not agree to a sparring session with a bigger, heavier black belt. He deliberately arranged for that because he had feelings for my daughter. She told us that her coach would sometimes hug her and ask her out. I told myself, that's not normal, said the victim's mother. On the other hand, the coach denied these allegations, stating, quote, there was no intention to physically harm her. It is expected in Taekwondo that one will be hit, hurt, injured, or fall. It's normal and expected since this is a physical sport. He added, it was usual for a male and female athlete, even if they are of different belts, to go against each other in sparring so they can learn defense and the weight of the kicks. So when a tournament comes, they are used to the speed, wit, and weight of those higher belts or higher weight. As per the World Taekwondo belt system, a yellow belt represents the second lowest rank, typically achieved by beginners with 2 or 3 months of training in that martial art following the initial white belt stage. In contrast, the black belt stands as the pinnacle of achievement, signifying the highest rank attainable, and is usually achieved in about 4 years. In a statement following the incident, the school president of Jesus is Lord Colleges Foundation, Inc., where the victim and coach are affiliated, stated the following: let me be unequivocally clear. Abusive behavior has no place within our institution. Our dear parents trust us to serve their children with professionalism, dignity, and care. We will not tolerate any violation of that trust. The safety of our precious students is our utmost priority, the school president said in a statement. According to a news report, the victim's family filed charges against the coach under Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. However, an official of the Philippine Taekwondo Association said its investigation found no indication that the coach wanted to harm the yellow belt. The Philippine Taekwondo Association Secretary General Rock Sampson said the Taekwondo body received the results of the investigation conducted by Jesus is Lord Colleges Foundation and reviewed the practice videos. They said if you will see the video, the kick was not headed for the face. It's 2 body kicks, 2 kicks heading to the body. It just so happened that the athlete was somehow slipping, possibly why the kick landed on the face. But in the video, I could not see clearly how it landed on the face since the supposed referee was somehow blocking the shot. The victim is now out of the hospital and is gradually recuperating from her injuries, but full recovery may take up to 6 months. She has also decided to change schools. Let's unpack that. First off, we don't know if the coach set this up on purpose. The girl and the girl's parents both claim that he was being a little too aggressive with sexual advances, and they're saying that he did this on purpose because she denied him. Could be very true. As you've seen any of these other news stories, that kind of stuff is very common. And if he did do that, if he was being overly aggressive and trying to abuse his position of power, he's a piece of shit. But we can't take blame away at all from the person who actually hurt her. Personally, when it comes to how the Philippine Taekwondo Association explained this particular incident, I don't really agree with them. The Philippine Taekwondo Association could have looked at this and not found any actual evidence of him being overly aggressive sexually. Who knows? But if they didn't find anything, they just simply didn't find anything. But they could clearly see the video, and in my opinion of doing this for over 27 years, the guy in the video was being a dick. And that guy was being overly aggressive with what he was doing, and there's no need for him to be going so hard with somebody who's so new. Clearly, during this match, he had made her fall down several times. So, as a black belt, he should have understood that, hey, she might fall down. I need to pull my kicks and punches a little bit more. Give her a little more time to work instead of being an asshole who's trying to win some sparring match for no prize whatsoever other than his ego. I do not personally think that kick was intended to go to the body. I think that kick was intended to kick her in the face on the way down. And he succeeded, and he also broke her nose and put her in the hospital. Now, whether the coach set this up on purpose or not, we also know that that was round 2. And if he was being that aggressive in round 1, to the point where he put her in the hospital, then the coach should have called that off, no matter what. I also don't agree with what he said about getting people prepared for what they're going to expect in a tournament. The way he made it sound in his statement was that they're going to be fighting people who are much larger than them and higher belt ranks than them, which is horseshit. That's not even close to true. Those matches are set up specifically so that way you spar or fight against your belt rank and people in your weight class. Is there benefit to fighting people who are taller, bigger, heavier, stronger, faster? Absolutely. All of those things ring true, but not if you're going to get hurt. It's very hard to do well in a tournament or in self-defense if you got injured or harmed during a sparring session. So many people preach this tough love, we gotta spar hard crap. And what they fail to realize is that if you continue to do that, the more likely you are to get injuries, the less likely you are to be successful in your self-defense or in a tournament because you're battling an injury. While we don't know if the coach set this up as a hit or not, what we do know is that he's clearly negligent here, in my opinion, and the person who hurt her is also in the wrong. This brings us to the question of the day, brought to you by X Marshall. Be sure to answer this question in the comment section below, so that way I know that you watched the entire video, but also to be entered for a chance to win a $100 gift voucher that you can use at xmarshall.com.
X Marshall combines the style and the substance to help make you feel like a flashy superhero that can bang out a highlight reel compilation of swanky submissions, dripping in dopeness. X Marshall has got you covered. Style and substance in equal measure. Look good, feel good, perform good with X Marshall.
Now, on one hand, hard sparring is something that you should experience from time to time. I don't think that you should do it all the time, but I do think that it's something that can be beneficial as long as you don't get injured. But on the other hand, going hard all the time will just result in multiple injuries and or you quitting. So, where is the line? What do you think is too hard in terms of training? I look forward to hearing your answers in the comment sections below. I look forward to reading your answers in the comment sections below. Thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, and memberships. Keep the martial arts legit.
Things just haven't been the same. Living strange since my baby joined that dojo. Joined a McDojo. Now she tries to